Hello, this is Maureen Gallagher reporting with Channel 84 News. Not too long ago, World War II ended. It all started because Japan bombed Pearl Harbor, Hawaii on December 7, 1941. After that happened, Japan and France declared war on Germany. At this time, half the world was at war. Some causes for World War II were the Great Depression and the Treaty of Versailles. Some effects of this were Japanese were totally defeated. Also, a lot more were in store for U.S. women, like voting and working for the U.S. Navy or Army. There were many important people during this time. One very important person was Franklin D. Roosevelt. At this point in time, he was president. He led the U.S. through this tough time. And now here's Nyla Sweeting with 9/11 News.
This is Nyla Sweeting with the report of 9/11. 9/11 was a tragic incident caused by the terrorist group Al-Qaeda and their leader Osama bin Laden. He had a lot of causes for this, including the attack on Saudi Arabia and the USA supporting Israel. These are just some of the reasons. On the tragic day of 9/11, two planes crashed into the Twin Towers, and the Pentagon and the World Trade Center. Then, on the same evening at 11 p.m., the war on terrorism was launched. The effects of 9/11 were bad. There was a lot of damage and a lot of people were hurt. A famous person during 9/11, which was George W. Bush. He was famous because during this tragic incident, he was the president. Now to John Spicer with the Revolutionary War.
Hi, my name is John Spicer. 249 years ago, we were involved in the Revolutionary War. The Revolutionary War went on from 1775 to 1783. The war was between the 13 colonies in Great Britain because 13 colonies had no say in Great Britain's laws. The first shot was on April 19, 1775. The commander-in-chief of our army was General George Washington. Speaking of George Washington, he played a very important part in the Revolutionary War. He led the Continental Army to victory over the British and was the first president. He was also one of the people to sign the Declaration of Independence. After all the hard work, we finally won the war in 1778. Well, that's about it for the Revolutionary War, and now to Sydney Scaramuza with the Great Depression.
Hi, this is Sydney Scaramuza with the Great Depression. The Great Depression was an unfortunate time, and over 10 million Americans alone lost their jobs. From 1929 to 1939, the stock market was down. This event was caused by the stock market belonging to America crashed down. This happened when customer spending dropped and unsold goods began to pile up. When the stock market crashed, millions of Americans ignoring the rest of the depressed countries. The Great Depression also caused some reasons for World War II. World War II needed planes desperately and needed to get them built from a market. Because of that, it got rebuilt and many of the unemployed got their jobs back. And now here's Kevin McGonigal with the Civil War.
Hi, my name is Kevin McGonigal, and today I will be talking about the Civil War. The Civil War was an intense war. Everyone was dying left and right. If you didn't know that there was a different name for the Civil War, it was the war between the states. The Union and the Confederate States of America fought in the Civil War. The effects to this war was the nation was reunited and to succeed also reconstruction, the plan to rebuild America after the war began. The causes were that the Southern press and its editor would be among the first in the docks. The Civil War started on April 12, 1861, and it ended in spring 1865. The North won the Civil War. Also, the North had more men and materials than the South. One person that was a big deal in the Civil War was Jefferson Davis. He was elected for president in 1861. He was a former U.S. Senator and Secretary of War. Now to Mary Grace Gratz with Civil Rights.
Hello, this is Mary Grace Gratz. I will be telling you about the Civil Rights Movement. The Civil Rights Movement started in 1954 and ended in 1968. It lasted for 15 years. It was located in the south part of the USA. It started because black people wanted to be free from slavery and because of their skin color. It was very unfair to blacks because they would not be allowed to go to the same park, school, drink from the same water fountain as white people did. Some effects on it were what white people would lose their slaves and they would not be happy about it. With the civil rights movement, black African Americans would try to fight for freedom, but it would not work at all. The African Americans just wanted to vote and be treated fair as the white people. The civil rights movement was a very violent thing because many African Americans died. One person who helped the African Americans was Martin Luther King Jr. He helped the blacks to stand up for themselves so they can be treated right. Now here is Francis Evans with the Cold War.
Hi, my name is Francis Evans, and I'm going to tell you about the Cold War. Let's get right into this. The Cold War lasted from World War II to the fall of the Soviet Union. The Cold War was the economic struggle between two world superpowers. These two superpowers were the USA and the USSR. Forces over Adolf Hitler's Nazi Empire. In Europe, within just a few years, wartime allies became mortal enemies. It all started after World War II ended. The USSR wanted to attack the US, but they were scared. And the US wanted to attack them, but they were scared. Ronald Reagan was the president back then. This lasted almost 4 decades, but it finally ended. Now here's Morgan Gallagher.
That's all for now. Come back next week for more on Channel 84 News.